Hey, what's up, guys? Got another deck. Adaptive Android 20. Definitely one that has not really been talked about for a long time. Just like that tag cell. I think those kind of decks like these kind of have fallen to the wayside quite a bit with the expedience of the speed of the game here. But I think it's still pretty strong. My biggest issue whenever I build an Android 20 deck, especially the orange ones, is I have no idea how the hell to fit everything. And as you can see, there are a lot of cards in here that could definitely maybe be taken out, added. For example, one that I have a very hard time fitting is this one. I always forget about this card because I don't play much orange myself anymore. I was more of an orange player in the first few sets, but Orange Leisure, really good card. This is a setup or drill tutor for Android 20. Very, very strong. Can pretty much grab you anything in this deck other than Acquisition Drill and Quickness Drill. And you might be thinking, why am I running Lookout Drill? Well, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I've been looking for hours. I cannot find any of my deflection drills. I have a couple of them just sitting around in a box or somewhere. So, but this is supposed to be deflection drill. We just have a fill-in Lookout Drill for now. But back in the day, this is what you would be running. But there is literally no reason to ever run this drill ever again, ever since deflection drill came out. So, we'll not start over here. Check out our event line first. Of course, we are running the Adaptive Mastery. You could run him combative. I wouldn't run him adapt, but the adaptive and the combative, that's going to immediately decide which kind of path a lot of your deck choices go. So, generally speaking, adaptive is much better if you're trying to run the Devouring Drill package, which I do. And I think Android 20 is a lot better if he's bound up on his level 2, or having the option to go to your level 3 against control matchups, where you need that extra little closeout mill for combat. But now, if you're not familiar, Android 20's whole shtick is he's grabbing drills, freestyle drills with his levels. Whoops, excuse me. And level 2 is good for just rejuving drills. Rejuving. Of course, 3 gives you the mill. 4, of course, this is a level that you honestly never want to go to, generally ever. It's pretty useless. If you for some reason want to close out mid-combat from 3 to 4 for extra mill, I suppose, but really you're going to generally be trying to get to level 2 in this deck. 3 is just when you really, really need to go get some of the freestyle drills from the Banish Zone, where you need that extra damage. But I think combative Kami generally wants to sit on combative 20 rather is going to be spending a lot more time on the 1, which I think is his weakest level next to level 4. They're both strong. Either way, you do get to see your opponent's hand, and this does help you start kicking out the freestyle drills. But generally speaking, I like adaptive more. I think you need to be on level 2 or 3 to really, really get the full benefit of actually running Android 20. If you're going to just sit on 1, I think Trunks or Kami is way better. So start with the event line here. We got Orange Destruction at 2. I'd love to put this at 3. This deck is just really weird right now with spacing. I just have a really hard time fitting all these cards that I want to put in. So right now, this deck has really just kind of been sitting on the shelf a lot. Doesn't get played a whole lot. So right now it's a 2. I mean, it's always been a 3 of card for me whenever I build Android 20, but at the same time, needing to be set up and being that games can go pretty fast, sometimes you don't really want to see this card early. I think it makes a good 2, and you can get them back out of the pile. So that is nice. 3 stare down. You need to be able to slow your opponent's game down. You want to take up his card. Good. 2 sphere. I think because of the fact that Android 20 is more of a control EMP, I think you need to run Stir in pretty much every control deck ever. You just need that option. Tug of War at 1. Anger Hate. Orange does not have good Anger Hate. I mean, I say that, but then, of course, I pan over to Bicycle Kick when I say that. But also just having the Ally Hate. Really, really good. Shuffles your deck, which once you get on level 2 here, you start rejuvenating 3 at the end of every combat. You have Checkup Drill, rejuvenating 2. Shuffling your deck, shuffling those cards in that you're rejuvenating. Very, very strong. Orange Fixation to 1. Really, this card could probably get cut. I don't know. I've always been kind of goofy with this card. It does help you search out your freestyles quicker, which in the right matchup, if you use your level 1 in this, there's 2 freestyles right off the bat you can get out. Certain matchups are really going to need these freestyle drills. Specifically, Acquisition Drill is huge, and sometimes Deflection Drill is really huge. generally speaking, scouting drill, you don't have really an issue getting to that drill quick enough against energy decks. But just it's nice to have an extra drill tutor, and it does have 3 endurance, which is nice. Honestly, I don't think Andrew 20 cares about attacking much. He's kind of like Kami in that sense. And I say that, and then I have all these damn attacks, which is probably why I have literally no room in this deck right now. But that's, I think, something that I would definitely change. If you definitely are more of a Season 20 player, which I really haven't played 20 much for a long time, and I haven't really played him a lot. I really haven't played him in this kind of meta that we've had the last 2 sets, but I think something that I would definitely do is probably cut my attack line quite a bit, and probably buff my block line, and try to add in Orange Leisure for sure. I think that is a card that needs to absolutely get in here. I just don't know where yet. One deck I could kind of see, I should probably have taken a little inspiration from, which I might for further builds. Shin Runels had a Villainous Android 18 that he ran over on an East Coast event that I think would be a similar list to this. Granted, he's got a lot more space, because he's probably not running all these freestyle drills, but it'd be definitely something I would consider looking at. Maybe if you wanted to hone in like a in-between my list and his, I think would be a good spot if this list isn't really working for you. Orange Meditation, of course, Anger Hate. This card would be a 3 of if it could still be a 3 of. Stupid strong card. I hate that card so much. But, you know, I guess it was a necessary evil for what we had to face back when it came out. You got T Refocus. I'd love to put it at 3. Love to have Swerve at 3. Love to have Juke at 3 if I could, but space. But this helps you pull out your drills in your pile. It's really, really nice when you're getting your dick beat in, and then you get to pull out a drill. Pretty nice. Swerve. Great card. This will check up drill. You just shut down physical decks when you see this card. Really, really strong. Not as good in adaptive as combative, but still worth running. Juke. You know, it's nice to see these early. Nice to get these drills back in the deck. You know, either way, Omni Block that you can tutor with the checkup drill, which is really nice. Orange Dismissal, of course. You know, you got to run this card. Only at a 2, again. Andrew 20. He's going to be getting scouting drill in the matchups where he really needs it. And generally for me, the only Andrew decks I see are red. And what's really nice about, well, I'll get to his drill in a bit. Wild to say that's really nice and why he can handle it, but having this at a 2 of, it's nice to be able to just filter out a drill. It's really nice when you can help, it'll trade you out a drill. Maybe one of the block drills is dead. You play this and you're able to kick out like a checkup drill, or you get a devouring drill, which is really, really nice. Definitely would love to be a 3. Again, space. Probably going to cut attacks. That's probably where I'm going to take the rune from. Defense. Great block again. Yeah, Drowsy Drills. Really, really nice card. So we have a pretty mixed suite of the physical blocks. You know, each one of them very, very strong in their own sense. I do like that defense, dismissal, and refocus are all retrievable. I have Juke at 2 right now. Honestly, Juke could probably end up getting cut for another refocus and maybe another swerve, but we'll see in the course of time. 320's Domination. Of course, this card's really awesome. You have to forgive like the little water damage I got on this card, but lets you snipe out 1 card out of your opponent's deck. Really great. Set ups your draw for the next turn, which is really nice because top deck any card you want. Really, really nice to get your drills back. It doesn't grab you events, but you know, hey, who cares? Maybe you want to loop Tank Barrage back. Really, really nice. So, good card. Good card. Launcher, I think this, you have to run this at a 3 in the adaptive. Getting the crit damage effect off to be able to use your mastery here. If you don't know what the mastery does, if you've used the crit damage effect, you grab a style drill to your pile in combat. Really need it. Really just guarantees that, like, even if you're getting entered on, if you hold this in your hand, it means that you're going to at least come out with a drill at the end of the combat. Bicycle Kick at 2. You know, I did just get nerfed. You can only grab 3 drills with this now. But for me, the biggest thing is it is a Blur Anger 2. And we do run Distracting Drill here for Tank Barrage and this card. I think it's worth running still. This, however, could see a cut for something else, but I think this is still a very, very powerful card. And it also cycles out your drills and gives you orange shenanigans to play with. So I think it's still worth running, at least at a 2. I wouldn't run it at a 3. Not for this deck. Tank Barrage at 2. Again, you can loop this back in your deck. It is a powerful card, like Destruction. Definitely one of his best cards. Maybe it needs to be at a 3, like Destruction. I feel like this card could be at 3. You kind of don't want to really see it till you're set up. And because of how quick the game kind of is right now, I think 2 is a good number for it. But either way, you combine this with Distracting Drill. 7 life card unpreventable. You combine this with that and also the Android Attack Drill, which is super easily tutorable because you tutor freestyle drills. 9 life card attack unpreventable. Really good. And Anger Lowering on it. Stellar card. We got Orange Stare on here, of course. 3 o'clock. We got 3 of them. Definitely worth running. Board clear. Very, very strong. PowerPoint at 2. This does help you search out drills from your deck. Only styled ones. I think it's worth, purely because you have Check of Drill in the deck alone, I think it's worth running. And being able to get out the Devour and drills quicker, it's worth running. It's got Endurance Stir, which is really great. I'd love to run it at 3. Used to be at a 3 all the time in the old 20 builds, but again, we're trying to fit all these damn cards in here. So at 2 for now. Sweeping Blast at 2. This card can just demolish certain decks. I've seen the power of it by Brian Fogler. Definitely with Yamcha, Adaptive Yamcha. He's slaughtered me with this card before. Definitely worth it. I think again, it just kind of depends. I think this is maybe more a bit of an aggressive card. I could see this card getting cut entirely. This is probably the first attack that I would cut in my deck for sure, because it's more of an aggressive card. But 20 can turn the gears on people. That's one thing, is that between Tank Barrages and Destructions alone, you can clean out, a third of someone's deck sometimes in a combat, half of someone's deck in a combat before. So, just something to consider. I definitely think I would cut this myself, though. Then we got 1 Blinding. I'd love to run 2. Again, I think this card is phenomenal with 20, especially when it gets on his level 2, because you just enter combats, you just block out attacks that your board blocks, and then you just end combat with this, and you just rejuve 3. You may pay 2, but you rejuve 3. And you can get in loops where you keep rejuving these in your deck, and just grinding people out by entering and ending. However, I only have room for 1 right now. I'd love to run Earthball 7. That is another card. Actually, I have it right over here, and I'm going to try my best to probably try to fit it in at some point once I put some more games on this deck. But because this gets rejuvenated and you can loop it, I think you can still make it with 1. But maybe 2 is the right way to do it nowadays. I could see cutting 2 sweeping, maybe putting a second one of these, and then I'd probably turn that one of those sweepings into a leisure or the ball 7. Probably the ball 7 first, honestly, for myself. That I think would be a good add. However, I think sweeping is still super clutch, so maybe for you it would be the bicycle kick. Or maybe for you don't feel like you need 3 stay down, or maybe you feel like you're never getting the use out of the PowerPoint. Those are all the attacks I could see maybe getting some cuts, but I really do think you need Launcher at a 3, and I really do feel like stay down should probably be at a 3. So I don't know. Maybe Bicycle Kick is the card you want to cut. Really, as you can see, like each one of these attacks and all these cards that I mentioned all have really good potential. Just kind of comes down to you as the player, how you feel you're going to be playing it, and how consistently you want to see certain cards. Again, maybe you don't even like Sphere. Maybe you don't like Fixation. These are all my personal choices, and I'm not even done with the list yet, but I think this is one of these decks that can definitely have quite a few different choices, and they're all valid. It just kind of depends on how you like to play the deck and how the cards work for you. So we'll finally get to the real bread and butter. The real reason, we're picking orange is all the drill package. So we're going to start off with a Tracks Drill. Now, this drill, thank God it got nerfed. Thank God it only protects style drills. And I say this in a purely design sense, that for all those reasons. And thank God Focusing Drill got, froze. Otherwise, Combative would just be king forever. But this drill is still really strong, and still strong and adaptive. Adaptive is still, I think, respectable. But it gives you an extra card that you can pick out of your pile, which is awesome, because Destruction, Tank Barrage, hit the pile beginning, mid game, and you want to put them back in the deck. Oh, you just get this drill out. Oh, you pick them out and put them back in. Great. You get to level 3. Oh, look, you pass on your turn. You're getting 2 cards back in your deck. Oh, they enter on you. Well, you're getting at least 3 cards back. Awesome card. I really am annoyed by this card. I'd run it at 2 if I had space, but I think it's a very good one for sure. You have to put it in every orange deck ever, I think, now. That's running drills. That isn't an adaptive deck. Orange Steady Drill, of course, block. Thumbs Up Drill, I think this is definitely a drill that can kind of fluctuate depending on what you feel like you're going to play against. I really like this drill. You know, it can chip you out a lot of extra, you know, life cards if you get it out early. But I could totally see this one not making the final cut. This is one of the few drills I could see not making a final cut of this list, but I really have liked this one. I've enjoyed it. But again, I could see, you know, how some games you're never going to get anything off it, and you're never going to prioritize it, probably. Distracting Drill, I think this needs to be in the deck pretty much always, just purely because of Tank Barrage alone, and running Bicycle Kick makes it even more worth it to run this card, but really, really great. Just a good card. And you know what's nice is if for some reason you're playing as Mischievous, you could pitch this out of your hand to, you know, proc their Mastery to get you a card back after they've discarded a card from your hand, you know. But really just there for the active. I think it's worth using. We got 3 Devouring Drill. You know, this has been, you know, one of the power cards, I think it's one of the best, you know, orange drills in the game. I've always liked this card. Really, really nice. Sucks that you are vulnerable to Unleashed, but at least you don't lose your drills if you get bumped down because of adaptive. And that's, I think, you know, keeping your drills is one of the advantages of the adaptive. Now, combative, of course, can run Conference Drill, but yeah, I like it. I like running adaptive more. But yeah, Devouring Drill, really great. You generally are going to want to try to get that drill out early, get to level 2 early, and then you can kind of just sit on these and just keep kind of like your drill count in your deck. And what's really nice is you can proc Devouring Drill on your level 2 when you enter combat. It plays a drill, so you can go into combat on level 2 and then play the drill, Devouring up to 3, and then level 3 goes and grabs you another drill. Really nice if you want to like kind of go for that like mill end there, or you're running out of stages. Really, really nice. Deflection Drill. Now, I know this isn't Deflection Drill, but Deflection Drill is a stupid card, and I really hate it. And I hate it so much I won't even bother to look for it any more than I have. I've been looking for a long time for that. I cannot find any. And I don't feel like proxying up for it right now. So, but stupid card. I hate that card because I like playing mail decks, and screw that card. But so strong. So strong. People play Black Capture on you, Black Impatience against you, especially as a powerful card. You just put Deflection Drill out. That Impatience is literally just killing them every turn. So dumb. Such a dumb card. And against like the Mirror or any other orange early decks, even a lot of black decks, great. You know, you just bounce mill right back to them. Checkup Drill. This is, yeah, okay. We don't need to talk about this drill. Hiding Drill, super strong. I remember back in the day people were running multiple of these drills. I think one is all you can really slot right now, besides a lot of the decks are dealing stage damage. And, you know, some of the control decks are running efficiency drills, so this don't really do as much, but it's still worth, I think, running at least as a 1 for the right matchup. Shopping Drill, you know, this card's definitely one that slept on me for a long time, because a lot of people were never playing, you know, Banish Hate back in the Panini game. Then we got to the Fantasy game, people started kind of playing a little bit more. But especially with the advent of Majin Vegeta, you need this card. So, it's in here. Not as strong in this deck, I feel, as Combative, because Combative you're really getting to play the pile way more, but you still do quite a bit of rejuvenation with the level, you know, the level 2 attraction drill and such. So, you know, keeping your drills okay, really strong. Still a good card, I think. And shuts off a lot of decks like Vegeta, Yamcha. They all get screwed by that card pretty bad. So, Burning Aura Drill. You know, same as Steady Drill. Acquisition Drill. Now this is kind of maybe why you would actually pick 20 over, like, say, Kami. I wouldn't say necessarily adaptive Kami, but you know, this is like the reason why you run Trunks and 20 in a drill deck, is you want this card, because this card is awesome. Stealing Punch Drill is great, but really just having, you know, these out to lower your opponent's anger. They really, for the longest time, filled the weakness of Orange that they had until they got Meditation and Bicycle Kick. Just lowering the anger. Really, really good. Still really, really good. Matter of fact, we're still running it at 3 in this deck. I think it's still worth running at 3 for the Orange deck, just to make sure that people don't ever level on you. And in generally 2 combats, you know, you can generally have enough freestyles where you can activate them. It does suck that you have to have 3 freestyles to activate these, but also just being able to steal an Absorption Drill or a Smoothness Drill. Really, really strong. I think, that's another reason why I think 20 was probably good for a bit back when, people were still playing a lot more Absorption Drill decks. I think they still are, but, that's just how it goes. We have 2 of his Scouting Drill. This is why you can pretty much run light on energy blocks. The only ones that you gotta worry about are people that are throwing unpreventables. You don't have to worry about hit effects, but that's not really something I'm seeing a lot of. I haven't seen a lot of energy decks for a long time. They come and they go. But what's really nice is because it prevents the damage. Things like Red Stack Shot don't really do or matter at all to this. So really just gotta worry about like Dig. Or Dig's the only thing I can think of right now. But, or Yamcha, I suppose. If Yamcha gets to level 3, it can be kind of crappy to have this, but that's why we have Acquisition Drills. I'd love to maybe put a Ball 2 in here, but I say that, but I've never been a fan of Ball 2 in this. I've always been a fan of Balls 1, 6, and 7. Those are really fun. And I remember Season 1 Worlds, I think Timbato or Phil might have both had them. I'm pretty sure Tim had them. Those balls specifically. Ball 7 is really awesome with 20, but I don't have Sinchoke in this build, which is another card that could totally make it in the build. There's another card, that's the problem trying to fit all this. Maybe if I had, and I used to run Sag Strike in this deck too, back in the day. Again, this is like way different because I didn't have all these Fan Z cards to be thrown in there. But those are all still cards that you can throw in, and that's the thing. I really don't think there's one way to build this deck. And as you can tell, I'm pretty much wishy-washy on how much I think I need any of these, like especially the attack line is just so kind of all over the place. But for sure the drills even can be played. I have like all these drills I feel are very core to 20, and so that's the thing, like other than like maybe Thumbs Up. So it's hard to... It's really hard to build this deck, and I say that purely just because you have so many options about what you want to do. And you could even do like more of a stage loss route with him too, where you're running Hidden Power Drill, Reconstruction Drill. You could be running Sword cards because Sword Chop synergizes really nicely with Orange Fixation, and 20 can grab Aggressive Sword Drill. There was a guy that had a build like that for Trunks. He ran a Retribution Trunks that was just a sword stage lock build. I think it's Brandon Suchan. Like, you got stuff like that you can do with 20. There's so many different cards that it's so hard to build this and keep like a straight, path about what you're trying to do. I generally think just the life card base is probably the best, but like, what attacks? So it's a very, 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 very it's just hard to build this deck. There's just so much variance in the builds. So I'd love to hear what more people have to kind of as their builds here, but we're going to round this out here. This is a long video so far, so Quickness Drill 1. This is one that some people don't like. I love this card. I literally named my Wi-Fi this card. Quickness Drill is so bad, as in it badass. I love this card. I'm notorious for playing this card whenever I would play Android 20, and some of my other decks, but mostly Android 20. I love Looping Stare Downs, and Times Warriors Tool, and Orange Launchers, and Destructions, and it's just so damn good. I love this card. I love this card so much. It's awesome. Orange Escape. Combat Ender. I would have 2. I think onboard combat enders are really, really strong right now. More so than in the hand ones. And I'm trying to remember why I was thinking that. I've been playing so many matches lately. I can't remember why I'm saying that. Man, somebody remind me in a comment or something here. But I really think onboard combat enders are still the best kind of combat enders because they just mind game the hell out of your opponent. And this does let you play a drill out of your hand, which is really great. It sucks that you need a drill to end the combat, but we have so many. We have like over 20 drills, almost 20 drills here, I think. That it's very easy to find a drill. But, and even, imagine if VTP was still live. It'd be hard to fit a VTP in here, But that's the thing. I used to run this deck a bit different in numbers. And, imagine back when Meditation was a 3 of, this deck is definitely kind of one that I'll come back and build every once in a while. And I have a buddy, my buddy Jeff loves this deck. I don't know about this particular build. I remade this for him, and then I proceeded to just thrash this with like Majin Vegeta. So I feel kind of bad, but that's kind of how it goes. But I think this deck can definitely use some tweaking. I think it's all down to kind of the player that's playing it, the meta. I definitely feel like probably less attacks. Probably. Maybe not thumbs up drill. That would be my one drill that I could see taking out every other drill. And maybe even hiding drill, because efficiency drill's a thing. But, I think for the most part, you're kind of set on these cards in your deck. So, but let me know in the comments below. Hopefully this kind of gives you some insight. Maybe you have a very, very different list. Like I said, there's like a dozen like in terms of like dozen slots that I could see like opening and changing if I was going to run like 2-3 of multiple of those cards that I mentioned. So, but hopefully this kind of helps and gives the kind of a base. Maybe this build doesn't work for you. Maybe it does. If love to hear about it. But thanks for watching.